Alexander Giuliani for I Am Italian magazine. Republican politicians moved toward the home majority. Republicans edged closer on Thursday to safeguarding a majority in the United States legislature. At the same time, control of the Senate depended upon a few tight races, 2 days after Democrats fended off an expected red wave of Republican gains in midterm elections. Republican politicians have recorded at least 210 home seats, Edison study forecasted, 8 short of the 218 needed to wrest your home away from Democrats and efficiently halt head of state Joe Biden's legal schedule. While Republicans continue to be popular, there were 33 residence competitions yet to be chosen, including 21 of the 53 most competitive races, based on a Reuters analysis of the leading nonpartisan forecasters, most likely making sure the result will not be figured out for some time. The fate of the Senate was much less inevitable. Either event can seize control by winning 2 close-to-call races in Nevada and Arizona, where authorities are tallying countless uncounted ballots. The party in power traditionally endures hefty casualties in ahead of state's first midterm political election. Also, Tuesday's results recommended voters were penalizing Biden for the steepest rising cost of living in 40 years. Yet Democrats could stay clear of the significant loss that Republicans had anticipated and were holding on in the close of Senate fights in Nevada and Arizona. Tuesday's outcomes suggested voters were snapping against Republican efforts to prohibit abortion and call into question the country's vote-counting procedure. Biden had mounted the political election as an examination of U.S. freedom each time when numerous Republican candidates embraced former head of state Donald Trump's incorrect claims that the 2020 presidential political election was taken. A split in the U.S. Senate ballot would imply the bulk would undoubtedly come down to an overflow political election in Georgia for the second time in 2 years. Autonomous incumbent Raphael Warnock and Republican politician challenger Herschel Pedestrian fell short of reaching 50% on Tuesday, compiling them into an individual battle on December 6th. Also, a slim home majority would permit Republicans to form the rest of Biden's term, obstructing concerns such as abortion, civil liberties, and launching investigations into his administration and his family. Biden, who takes a trip to Egypt on Thursday for the COP27 UN climate modification talk, acknowledged that truth on Wednesday, saying he was prepared to collaborate with Republican politicians. White House authorities said Biden talked by phone with Republican Home Leader Kevin McCarthy, who announced earlier in the day his objective to run for audio Speaker of the House if Republicans control the chamber. The American individuals have made clear, I think, that they expect Republican politicians to be prepared to deal with me as well, Biden told a press conference. Suppose McCarthy is the following resident's audio speaker. In that case, he may find it challenging to hold together his fractious caucus with a hard right wing with a nominal interest rate in compromise. Republicans are anticipated to demand investment cuts and raising the nation's line of credit the following year, a showdown that might alarm economic markets. Control of the U.S. Senate, at the same time, would provide Republicans the power to block Biden's candidates for judicial and administrative blog posts. Senate a toss-up. Thousands of votes stayed uncounted in the 2 closely competitive states of Arizona and Nevada. Election authorities in Maricopa County, Arizona's most populated, claimed it could take till at least Friday to tally all votes there. Several political election deniers, those that support Trump's incorrect insurance, claimed that the 2020 presidential election was stolen from him, won on Tuesday. Still, many who sought positions to manage political elections at the state degree were beaten. It was a good day, I assume, for democracy, Biden said. Trump, that took an energetic function in recruiting Republican prospects, had mixed results. He scratched a victory in Ohio, where hillbilly elegy writer J.D. Vance won a Senate seat to keep it in Republican politicians' hands. However, many other Trump-backed prospects suffered defeats, such as retired celebrity surgeon Mehmet Oz, who lost a vital Senate race in Pennsylvania to Democrat John Fetterman. On the other hand, Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who could challenge Trump in 2024, won re-election by virtually 20 portion points, adding to his growing nationwide account. Biden states he plans to run again to make it final in early 2023. U.S. President Joe Biden stated on Wednesday he means to run for re-election and would likely decide by very early next year after displaying the results of Tuesday's midterm political elections were great for freedom. White House officials expressed a feeling of vindication that Biden's fellow Democrats did better than expected. Biden, that transforms 80 this month, has encountered questions about whether he will seek a second term. A Biden consultant claimed initial conversations for a 2024 project were underway. U.S. President Biden goes to a rally with autonomous nominee for Maryland Governor Moore, Senator Van Hollen, and other Maryland Democrats in Bowie, Washington, November 9th. U.S. President Joe Biden stated on Wednesday he plans to compete for re-election and would likely decide by very early next year after stating the outcomes of Tuesday's midterm political elections good for democracy. White House officials revealed a feeling of vindication that Biden's fellow Democrats did better than expected. Biden, who turns 80 this month, has encountered inquiries on whether he will look for a second term. A Biden advisor stated preliminary discussions for a 2024 campaign were underway. Article prompt devices. Register free of charge to Reuters and also know the whole story. Ad scroll to proceed. Report an ad. We plan to run once again. That's been our purpose, Biden informed reporters at the White House, his other half Jill resting nearby. This is eventually the family member's decision. Biden claimed his household desired him to run, and also, he did not feel hurried to make a decision. He claimed he would do so unrelated to any announcement from his 2020 opponent, Republican politician former head of state Donald Trump, that is likewise anticipated to run. Biden invested his very first 2 years in office cautioning against hazards to democracy after Trump's fans stormed the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021, as well as did decline Biden's legitimate success. He emphasized those debates in the last days of the midterm elections. When asked how other world leaders need to view this moment for America, with Trump possibly running again, Biden said the solution was to ensure Trump never returned to power. We simply need to show that he will certainly not take power if he does run, seeing to it he, under legitimate initiatives of our Constitution, does not become the following president once again, Biden said. Trump has dramatically criticized Biden's policies and said he would reveal his plans next week. About a potential competition between Trump as well as Florida Gov. Ron DeSantis for the Republican election, Biden said it would be fun seeing them handle each other. In a festive mood, Biden parleyed with reporters for nearly an hour in the White House state dining room and spoke about a range of concerns, consisting of billionaire Twitter proprietor Elon Musk's connections with various other nations. Find out more. He gently chided reporters for forecasting, based on opinion polls, more substantial losses for his Democrats. Republican politicians made modest gains in Tuesday's elections and will likely take control of your home of representatives. However, control of the Senate depends upon 3 races that continue to be too close to call late on Wednesday. A so-called red wave or huge Republican requisition did not happen. Find out more. It was a good day, I believe, for freedom, Biden claimed. He recognized that the results revealed Americans were irritated, nevertheless. The rising cost of living was a massive subject for voters. Biden concentrated his project pitch on avoiding threats to U.S. democracy, securing abortion civil liberties, and proclaiming his financial plans. Republicans are expected to try to undo a few of those policies and prevent him from achieving other goals. Biden said he was prepared to work with Republicans. The American people have explained, I think, that they expect Republicans to be prepared to deal with me also, he said. Biden stated he would veto efforts to pass a national abortion ban and oppose tax obligation cuts for the well-off, 2 policy propositions Republicans might seek. He stated he would certainly talk to resident Republican leader Kevin McCarthy in the future Wednesday, and when Biden returns from a trip to Asia, welcome autonomous as well as Republican leaders to the White House to review top priorities in the future. The White House has prepared for a host of investigations that may come from a Republican-controlled House, consisting of over his child seekers' service ventures. Biden stated the American people would certainly look at such probes for what he claimed they were practically funny, but claimed he might not control what they did.